Peace, 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 peace. Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace, family. Hey, welcome to another edition of SaNeter TV. Hold on one second. Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace, family. Hey, welcome to another edition of SaNeter TV. Hold on one second. Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace, family. Peace, family. Hey, welcome to another edition of SaNeter TV. Hold on one second. I got to get this away from the mic. One second. One second. One second. So, family. Look at them eyes. You see me bucking the eyes? You see me bucking them? I'm trying to find stuff. Y'all ever watch me on the computer? I'm bucking the eyes trying to find stuff. You see me bucking the eyes? You see me bucking them? Yeah, I'm trying to find stuff for you. You see the eyes bucking? That means I'm trying to find something. Hold up. Why is this over here making this noise? Hold up. We gotta get this noise from these. Check 1 2, check 1 2, check 1 2. How y'all feel tonight? Family, I need y'all to share this. This is going to be another a fabulous production from SaNeter TV and all the good people like Moochie Bears who makes a contribution. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing, family. It's going to hurt me more than it hurt you. Y'all do know that SaNeter TV has been canceled, right? It's canceled. I gotta learn how to say these words. Y'all gonna do memes with me just butchering words. I know what y'all gonna do. Yeah, but it's a wrap. It's a wrap. You a cool turtle. I bet that fool was mad. He made that turtle game. So look, family, let's get straight into it. Like I say, I'm not going to do long introductions because listen. No, the people has spoken. The people has spoken. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. The people has spoken. Listen, check this out. So, family, we're going to get started right now. And I want everybody to share this. This is going to be this is a big deal for real. When you see what I'm about to lay out before you, this is a big deal. The jig is up. The jig is up, fam. The jig is up. And once again, I want to tell everybody, whoever want to bring their information to me, that doubt what I'm saying, man, shout out to the people that made the correction that the name was not Guerrera, it was Guerrera something, but it was Haitian. Man, shout out to them. But I did find the guy under another name, so that's why I say that may not be his only name. Do you know what I mean? So shout out to them, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for doing your due diligence. Right after the show, somebody said, yeah, I went to look up and found the Noak people of Nigeria, which I knew about it, you know what I'm saying? And it's just it's so wonderful that people, the SaNeter TV citizens, they take it upon themselves and do their extra work, because this is bigger than YouTube. This is bigger than SaNeter TV. This is something that you want to be able to tell your community, like, nah, back up off of that. That don't sound right. Nah, stay away from that. That don't look right. Nah, maybe you want to wait before you buy into this idea, this concept, or this trinket. You know what I'm saying? So, it's very good. It's very good, family. Always do your own due diligence. Always do your own due diligence. Somebody say Subway got 15 years, Polight only got 7. Something ain't right. But I'm going to show you something tonight. There's a strong possibility. Now, don't quote me on this, but what I'm telling you is that there's a strong possibility that if I was facing a crime, and definitely I wouldn't be facing those type of crimes, I tell you that. But if I was facing a crime, I would rather have the guy with the straight 15 as opposed to the circumstances that surrounds Polight sentence. Now, mind you, I ain't getting none of that. I ain't getting none of these sicko demonstrations, but you know, you might have to bust somebody upside the head or something for protecting your family, and you know what I mean. So, hey, somebody say Frank canceled. You're kidding me, right? Filthy Frank. So listen, fam, let's go ahead and get started, family. I want y'all to keep on rocking, and share this to your friends, family. Listen, this is crazy, right? I go to places right here in Baltimore. I could be at the grocery store. Matter of fact, I was at Wegmans today. Everywhere I go, somebody know me, right? I was at Wegmans today, and a brother walked up to me. He's like, "Man, do I know you from downtown?" I was like, "Oh, pause. What you mean from downtown, man, with the food?" He was like, "Nah, I work downtown at Whole Foods." I said, "Yeah, I've been there a time or two." But I said, "But my man, you don't walk up to somebody talk about, don't I know you from downtown? You don't do that, brother. That's a pause. You know what I'm talking about." He said, "Oh, I know where I know you from. You do the podcast." You know what I'm saying? You do a podcast. I say that's it. Yes, brother. Yes, yes. And so everybody is catching on. I was at this place called Second Chance today, and this lady, she said, "I seen your podcast." And she said I could only watch it. She's talking about the one I did about Polight, with the impact statement. She said, "I know you. I seen your podcast." She said, "I can only watch the last show in parts. It's so it's bad. It's bad." So, fam, I want to thank each and every one of you for sharing this. I want to thank each and every one of you for having confidence in me, because, this is bigger than a podcast. We are literally awakening the community. What I'm saying is, people be calling the community this internet stuff, but no, people on the ground is actually tuning in. They're actually tuning in, and they thanking me on the ground, fam. So I gotta thank you. You know what I'm saying? I gotta thank you, fam. And it happens all the time, So people are over the hump with the hype and all the stuff that goes along with just making videos. People seeing it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, see, he knew you was that. You know what I mean? So with that being said, family, tonight, man, we're going to get into some deep research, family. We're going to get into some deep research, but it's not going to be that deep. It's going to be basically enough research so you can go and take it to the another level. But it's going to touch you a little bit. It's going to touch you a little bit. Tonight is going to touch you a little bit. And Dirty Frankie, SaNeter. The reason why I say he's canceled is because he got almost 200,000 subscribers, and he can barely reach 10,000 views. And we know that at one time it was 60,000 or 200,000 views. And y'all remember that. And I'm going to show you also why I mean he's canceled. He knows he's canceled. I'm going to show and prove. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he has to be canceled. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, there's no way, after you see what I continue to put out concerning his relationship and his affiliation with this guy that took advantage and brutally to a 14-year-old, yeah, he has to be canceled. He has to be. And you are held to the standard, that high moral standard, to make sure that everybody knows his association, not only his association, his affiliation, and even him protecting him along the way. You feel me? Protecting him along the way. So, family, let me just say, family, it's just
grace and peace, family. Grace and peace.
Back to what I was saying. It's time for us to get to where we can start new platforms, and these new platforms can help teach our people, regardless of what you believe in. There is truth in every school of thought. And if wherever you at along the way, that school of thought has the ability to take you to a better place tomorrow than you were today, then then all praise due to Allah, all praise due to the Creator. You know, it's just a good thing. You know,
free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
Anyway, Vicky, I don't know why Vicky is always jumping in this chat. Vicky, come on, Vicky. I'm trying to do my thing, Vicky. Please, let me just do what I got to do. You know what I'm talking about? We're going to start the show in a minute, family. I just want to make sure that everybody gives a thumbs up.
Come on now, dog.
Now, here come Boosie. Here come Boosie. Listen, I want to make sure that everybody jump in the chat. Everybody comment after the show.
Come on, man.
Man, I'm coming, Boosie. Pause. Goodness, man. I just got to talk to the people for a second, Boosie.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Man, all right, so fam, I ain't gonna hold y'all up no longer, man. Boosie talking all crazy, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go ahead and, man, come on, man. I can't even get my intro on, you know what I'm saying?
Peace, family, get up in here. Get up in this live stream so I can let y'all know what's happening.
Check 1, 2.
So I can let y'all know what's going on while I'm trying to mind some business around my house. Get up in here. It's story time. It's story time, family.
It's time for us to go hard. It's time to expose the fraud. It's time for us to go hard. First of all, let me welcome y'all to Moore's World TV. Come on, it's time to go. Ain't nobody gonna deceive me. Deceive who? Deceive you. Never on my watch. It's time to go pull out the pot, turn up the heat. Let's make it hot. Don't be tripping on them frauds when you're rolling with the guard. Made Crips, Sonny, Boxing, Abu X, and Sean.
Hey!
Queen got Sean from the Shy, Candy Chamber, Ishmael Bay, and Sin Soon. Anybody they can get it if they gripping on the fam. Moore's World TV, investigating all scams. Gon' check my record and please don't front. Come on, keep it up.
What up, Peter?
Ain't the wrong ones from SaNeter and Polight and Tatar Bay.
What up, Cryptonomics?
And Grandmaster J, word to God. To all
Are y'all ready?
I brought them to the
Oh, they say unleash the flute. Family, this is going to be a show that you will never forget, family. I'm telling you, this show, it may get 20,000 next year,
Let's go.
but we put it out this year. Oh my goodness, family. Watch what I tell you. I got the goods.
We gon' shut it down. Share this to these 2 platforms.
Yeah. Hey, they say unleash. Hey, Grip. They say unleash the flutes. We ain't got no flutes, do we? Abu X. They say Manning Bay. They say unleash. Uh-oh. Here we go. Y'all ready? Strap up. Get in the ride. Come on.
I be that more you gon' remember.
Huh? Oh my goodness. I got to turn it back.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Arca Bay front line till the law call my number.
Yeah.
I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you
Man, this is the best show on the internet. I don't care what we get on the viewership. This is the best show on the internet.
If you a friend of the Moors, then you a friend of mine. I was told to watch my enemies.
Crypto!
Those that speak against the prophet, they speak against me. And I'm speaking about the prophet over Drew Ali.
Who was the first to remind you and bind you back to Morocco, the mountains, Mississippi, and Quebec? Told you wasn't black.
Prove it with straight facts. You tripping off Trump, you need to be tripping off that. Now here we go again, acting like you a slave. The same people taught European how to bathe. And looking at women buying European hair. No love for self, but do the men really care? Hell no, cause they got a love for Europe. Whole generation chasing pills, weed and syrup. Yeah, they love loyalty. Tucci, Gucci, Kodak, Amigos, Ross, Lucid. But when the love for the woman look like your mother, I guess they say it's all black when it's under the cover. Now cypher, I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that more you gon' remember. That's right. I be that more you gon' remember.
On the count of 3, hit that thumbs up button, share, share, share. 1, 2, 3, thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
I be that more you gon' remember. To Arca Bay front line till the law call my number. All you super scholars holler. This era for the workers. You ain't building on the ground.
This is Cosmo Flex, and I'm gonna bust this stupid dope rapper mine.
Probably working for the people. Now tell me what's your purpose. Ain't worried about your homie, but know that I know.
Big dummy.
That rock a fast. He ain't my bro. Yeah, you slow, I seen it all before. How they try to kill the prophet, it was all for show. And some got it right now, don't say that I'm not down. I'm coming for my vast estate, I want my town, my sheriff, my stores, my school, my nation. Sick and tired of the procrastination and debate. Y'all keep hating when love is the savior. You don't love yourself, so you can't love yourself.
All my money is
killing, fighting, marry out of your race. If you ain't for Moorish world,
all my money is
Chinese love China, Italians love Italy. If you
all my money.
come on and build it with me, let's go. I be that more you gon' remember. I'ma keep it more you gon' remember, that's right. I be that more you gon' remember.
Shalom.
The Bay front line till the law call my number.
Shalom.
Be that more you gon' remember. I'ma be that
Shalom.
more you gon' remember. Oh yeah. I be that more you gon'
My
remember.
hotel.
The Bay front line till the law call my number.
Namaste.
Be that more you gon' remember. Be more.
On the count of three, hit that thumbs up button. Share, share, share. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up.
Tahaka Bay front line.
Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
I be that more you gon' remember.
I say long alaikum.
I be that more you gon' remember. New York.
We don't need that negativity.
Remember Tahaka Bay front line till the law call my number.
Free the land, beloved. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
We don't need that negativity. We don't need that negativity.
Family, welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV, where you're going to get the best of the best, family. I'm telling you, you're going to get the best of the best, family. Let's start it. But I want to tell you what I mean. First of all, what I mean by the gig is up. The gig is up. SaNeter is on his campaign, and he says he's not talking about it no more, and rightfully so. He that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Because every time he talks, he put his foot in his mouth. Horribly puts his foot in his mouth. And I got to call it how it is. I'm not going to let. I'm not. One second. I'm not going to let. I'm sorry. Let me turn the mic back up. I'm not going to. Let me rewind what I was saying. Let me rewind what I was saying. I'm not going to let this opportunity pass me by. SaNeter has disrespected my entire family. SaNeter has never represented consciousness. SaNeter has disrespect my children, my wife. I don't mind. It doesn't make no difference to me. Listen. You can cuss my mama out. I'm not 14 years old where I'm going to get mad. I don't care. But what I will do is I will hit you in your pockets, because I'm a little bit more creative than you. I'm a little bit more wiser than you. And I will move a little bit more smarter than you. And at the end of the day, I will leave you destitute. The race is not to the swift. So whenever you are in a battle, family, don't be worried about the battle so much. Focus on the war. In other words, coming out in battle and people are cussing, they talking about your mother, they talking about your children, they talking about fake crimes, they talking about, let them talk. Once they finish talking and they finish making up stuff and they then ran out of stuff, then you go tether Big Pun on them. That's right. Big Pun, hit them with the big guns. Know to make the, yeah. You hit them with the tethers, the big guns, like Big Pun. You know what I'm saying? You let them talk. You sit down there, you watch, say, oh, one more video. Oh, there's another video. And then we go tethering on them. That's right. Just like Big Pun hit them with the big guns. That's right. And we don't stop until the casket drop. You understand what I'm saying? So the moment that I gave SaNeter reprieves maybe 3 or 4 times over a 5-year period, there is no more reprieves. The only thing I might do is let him breathe just a little bit and then chop at him again. Yeah. And then I back up and let him breathe a little more and then chop at him again. Yeah. Until the point. Somebody said my sound is still low. Is that right? Until the point, is my sound still low? until the point where it's a done deal. And right now, he's bleeding out. He's bleeding out, and he's bleeding out rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? Because this person should not be representing consciousness in no way, shape, or form. In no way, shape, or form should he be representing consciousness on any airways. So, with that being said, let me just get to the point that I was making about him falling to the wayside. Now, listen, family. This is a recent video. Now, the video he did with Tariq Nasheed on House of Consciousness. A 50-minute video with 191,000 subscribers. 626 views. You understand what I'm saying? The people are speaking. It doesn't mean that he's not going to do live streams. The people are speaking. That's on that channel, right? When you go to SaNeter Studios, you see the same numbers. Now, because you see 10K, 14K, we got to remember that Polight is a hot topic right now. You understand what I'm saying? But when you got almost 200,000 subscribers, that's got to be less than 1%. You understand what I'm saying? So when I say he's canceled, that means that he has a 3-hour video with 3,000 views. You understand? So when I say he's canceled, that means let me get my whiteboard. Let me go to class real quick, because everything is a class for us over here. You know what I mean? Let me get my whiteboard and go to class. Let me go to class. Here we go. Give me 1 second. Let me get the whiteboard. So see this over here. Almost 5,000 views with a 3-hour video. This is what I mean. The only reason he's getting 35 is because Polight is a hot topic right now. You see what I'm saying? Now, look at me. I have 30,000 subscribers, and my numbers are equal or better than that. In other words, I don't care if I'm talking about Polight, if I'm talking about Tariq Nasheed, if I'm talking about a no-name or I get an interview, the percentage per capita makes this looks crazy. So the point that I'm making is that the people have spoken. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. And we need to continue to take this thing where it need to be. And we need to promote new platforms. So y'all got platforms, y'all need to email with me. All right. Per capita. That's right. We talking big language around here. We're talking like people. Cryptonomics. We killing them per capita. Yeah, we killing them. I learned a new word every now and then. But anyway, fam, this is about to turn up. You know what I mean? This is about to turn up. And I'm telling you, family, keep doing what you're doing. Go over there and check him out. Look at the nonsense he's talking about, just like they do Tariq Nasheed, and then come over here and holler at me. Now, let me tell you something. They tried to justify. I heard somebody try to justify in my comment section, and I just deleted the comment. They said that Tariq Nasheed outdoing my numbers and da-da-da. Listen. When you look at the numbers for real, that's not so. But for real, who cares? The most important thing is that the information is getting out. But now, many comments are popping up saying that it's not SaNeter's fault. And he is putting people on Front Street that actually have fed into that thought. But family, what I want to tell you is that SaNeter knew, and I keep saying it, that SaNeter knew. This clip right here proves that SaNeter knew. Let it play.
That SaNeter talked about your kids. Who are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right? The one you call Renente? You ain't calling her your daughter, are you? Don't do it. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga. Little fucking Dr. York.
Now listen. Hold up. His friends up there.
Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga.
What is he talking about? So to the people that was in the comment section that says he was talking about exposing Polight for being a scammer, let me tell you something. In reality, whether he's exposing Polight to be a scammer or whether he exposing Polight for doing things to little children, the problem with that is he continued to bring Polight back on his platform. Press 7 if you with me on this one. That's the problem. The problem is not that that he didn't expose him. That ain't the problem. It's good that you expose, but you continue to bring him back on your platform. And you said, I want you to hear closely, he's not talking about scamming in this video, as opposed to what the comment section said in on my video. The comment section on my video, somebody was talking about, he's talking about, he knew Polight scams. This is not what he's talking about. So we need to stop that. He knew that Polight had taken advantage of a child. That's it. He knew that Polight had taken advantage of the child, and he gave the child name. He gave the child name. One more time, real quick, and we move forward.
That SaNeter talked about your kids. Who are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right?
He goes and say the government name as opposed to the Hotep name. You know what I'm saying? He calls out the whole government name. And I watch people try to justify and say it's not sci-fi. Listen, this guy has a platform. I mean, and he's saying that this guy that he put on his platform is responsible for taking the innocence of a child. And he brings them back to the platform. And now the people say, well, it's not Psy's fault. What are you talking about? What are you people talking about? Yeah, y'all the you people on this one. Let's finish. Let it finish play out.
I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right? The one you call Renente? You ain't calling her your daughter, are you? Don't do it. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga.
Don't make me do it, little Dr. York. What is the implication, family? We know what the implication is. We know exactly what the implication is.
Little fucking Dr. York. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga.
Family. this stuff got to be eradicated. How do people justify that SaNeter has nothing to do with Polight? He has everything to do with Polight. He set the stage. He set the table and allowed the people to eat from it. So he has everything to do with that. But this is just the start of the show. Family, he said, listen, this guy, let me play this real quick and then I'm going to bounce back real quick. Listen to this. Listen to this.
And VH1 want the interview too. Polight said no. I'm coming to you first. So I said, yo, you won't keep that? He said, yes, I'm coming to you first. So you best to believe VH1 want to interview Polight first. They want him. But he said he promised to give me the interview first. The exclusive interview. I'm not going to be in here sugarcoating nothing. I'm not going to be in here trying to save him or none of that. No, I don't need none of that. Here's the question. Everybody coming out automatically assuming I told you he was guilty. Guilty of what? I know what the fuck he copped out. I know what the plea is. I'm not gonna say it though. I'll let him come and tell you what it is. I know what the plea is. And that's why I sit back and just look at everybody run their stupid fucking mouth. And
does that sound like he believes that Polight is innocent or guilty? He says he knows what the plea is, and so he sit back and watch people run their stupid mouths as to imply that he pled, but he's not guilty. This is called an enabler. This is called an influencer that is going to influence an audience to continue to follow a guy that has been accused of the most egregious crimes that any community could ever fathom. Now, he said he know what plea he was taking, but did he pay attention to the little girl testimony? Results from Miami-Dade Forensic Lab were received and confirmed that the 14-year-old victim TS had a total of 6 confirmatory semen stains. You understand what I'm saying? Did he consider that when he's talking about I know what plea? I know what plea. The DNA warrant was obtained and served to defendant Noak on 6/8/2021. The DNA sample swab taken from Noak was transported. The DNA matched. And SaNeter is still talking stuff.
Ain't no suck. I know what the fuck he copped out. I know what the plea is. I'm not gonna say it though. I'll let him.
He knows that SaNeter is a swindler. He knows that SaNeter is a scammer. He knows that SaNeter took advantage of another child, and he still believes the scammer, or he's telling people that this scammer is not guilty of what the public is accusing him of, allegedly, or that's what he's implying. That's what he's implying.
I'm gonna tell you what it is. I know what the plea is. And that's why I sit back and just look at everybody run their stupid fucking mouth and thinking they know something. These fucking YouTube lawyers don't know shit. Don't know what's going on.
Listen, we know that the young sister took a testimony. You mean to say Polight, not SaNeter? What I mean? What I say? GS, you mean to say Polight, not SaNeter? No, I'm saying that SaNeter. What did I say? I know exactly what I'm saying. I said nothing wrong. Make sure I ain't say nothing wrong, because I got to say it right. Let me see. Type it in there, Crypto. If I have to rewind it back. That's right. The point that I'm making is that this guy took. Okay, yes, I meant Polight. What did I say though? I want to make sure I get it right. I want to recant. Let me recant. Can I recant? Let me recant. Yeah, let me recant. If I made a mistake, any slip of the tongue that's in error and I find out, I apologize and I will remove my mistake. I don't want to falsely accuse anybody. Yeah, I don't want to accuse anybody falsely. That ain't what I do. But what I want to say is, one of the things that I want to say is, after all of the evidence that the young sister put out by her testimony, this guy still says that he needs to see the court paper. When you look at stuff like this, you know what I mean? This is science right here. Don't they talk about science over there? You know when they have what you call what's my brother name? Unc said science literacy. Science literacy. Y'all remember that? Science literacy. But it don't play when it got DNA on a little girl's clothing. Science. It's science literacy. You can go and get old videos all the time that SaNeter Unc talking about science literacy. Oh, it's science literacy. Well, what happened to science literacy when the Roxy Boatman Treatment Center in Miami got the clothing and the rape kit? What happened to science literacy then? No, you got to wait till the judge says something. Here we go. This guy is an enabler. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about telling the truth to those who listening. He's an enabler. This is why he's canceled. This is why SaNeter TV is canceled. Because he's using double standards. Now, family, I just wanted to set that up real quick. Remember he had the fake news show? He had the fake news where he was going to get the exclusive sit down with Polight with the new charges. Huh? And he did it for views. And we caught him and Unc talking about, man, I had 4,000 people in the chat. I had 4,000 people in the chat. Y'all remember that? So he continued. Listen, Polight was the breadwinner of HOK. And so he don't care if he took advantage of a child. He doesn't care if he took advantage of people kindness, if he took advantage of people ignorance. He don't care. He was the breadwinner. He was the breadwinner of HOK. Therefore, he will turn a blind eye to the most egregious crimes. And that's what he did by his own by the evidence of him, keep bringing Polight on the platform. And see, we're not going to let nobody forget that. See, we're not going to let nobody forget that. You know what I mean? That's just like if you had a Chester in your community and the men of the community did not make sure that the Chester was either monitored or kicked out the community, then guess what? The men of the community should be held responsible. And at minimum, this fool said, y'all didn't do nothing. I gave y'all the information. No, you gave him a platform. You gave him a voice. Therefore, you are equally responsible because without SaNeter, there would be no Polight. Y'all hear what I said? The Polight that we know only rose to stardom because of SaNeter TV. Press 7 if y'all understand what I mean by that. Without SaNeter, listen, people have went to SaNeter TV, they have created channels, they have created influence, and they've came and gone. You don't hear about them no more. One of the ones that you do hear about is Polight. They created Polight. That's why I changed my show up tonight, because the making of Brother Polight, that's going to be my documentary. And I'm going to save that. The making of Brother Polight. That's what I'm calling a documentary that I'm gonna finish producing. And I've been putting this together since I've been covering it. But the making of Brother Polight, they made him, they manufactured him, they put a bow on him and sold him to the people. That's what, and when I say they, I'm talking about all people involved over there at HOK, all these promoters, all of them. They made him and sold him to the people. You understand what I'm saying? And so at the end of the day, we're going to show all the players because they cannot. This is one thing we're not going to allow. I'm not going to allow. I don't care if I got 3 people in the comment section or 3 people watching. One thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to sit back and let this guy act like he's not a co-conspirator in this. Nah. I'm not going to sit back and say, oh, well, that's his thing. Nah, I'm going to use you as an example so we know what to look for when we have enablers in the community with grown men that is being predators against children. So I'm going to use you as an example, SaNeter. You're going to be the example of what not to, just like I'm using Tariq as an example of how to understand and identify a grifter, a manipulator, an op. I'm going to use you as an example. That's right. I'm going to use you as an example. And so anybody who take heed, they will see you and somebody else in the future. They will be able to see Polight and somebody else in the future. They'll be able to see Tariq Nasheed and somebody else in the future. It'll be a different face, but it'll be the same old grift. It'll be a different face, but it'll be the same old predator. It'll be a different face, but it'll be the same old informant. But it'll be just a different face. But we'll be able to see it by his character. I mean, we'll be able to identify by the words, action, and deeds. That's right. We'll be able to identify by the words, action, and deeds. And I'm using y'all as an example. So anybody that come on this channel and talking about, oh, you doing it for views. I am. Oh, man, you wouldn't be getting no views without SaNeter. Good. You wouldn't get none without Tariq. Bravo. You can say all that you want, but one thing for sure and 2 things for certain. People will be able to identify what the next Tariq Nasheed look like if I got anything to do with it. People will be able to identify with the next Polight, the next SaNeter, the next Billy, the next my sister just put in King Simon. People will be able to know what they look like. That's right. They will be able to know what they look like if I got anything to do with it. Now, and they can talk about my mama, they can talk about my dog, they can make video. I don't care. Let me tell you, I'm on clad. It don't bother me. You can make 100 videos. I'll be like, oh, that's another one. I don't care. It don't bother me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just be dropping these bombs out here. You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm gonna be doing. But now, with that being said, fam, let's get down to the nitty gritty. What am I talking about, Brother Polight? Possibly, he may be stuck. You hear what I say? He may be stuck. Now, for the people who think that Polight, let me get one more. I need to get one thing. For the people, Polight got his wife or somebody managing his account and throwing up these videos. Family, I will assure you that Polight is locked up. All right? I will assure you, and let me just share with you real quick. Polight is locked up without a doubt. You know what I'm saying? Let me share this with you real quick. I'm going to drop this down to you, and I'm going to share this with you. So you know, just like I know, that Polight is locked up. So let me share this with you right quick. Let me cut this page out before they try to. I just seen Tariq and Polight now. I mean, and yeah, now SaNeter just went live. They might be doing something triggering. You know what I mean? So we know for sure that the brother is locked up. Here it is. Here it is. As you can see, 9/6/23. And this is him. Michael Noak. Child abuse, aggravated, great bodily harm, torture. There it is. So we don't need to guess anymore. Where is he locked up? Miami-Dade Western Detention Center. It's on the right-hand side. You see what I'm saying? Location, Miami-Dade Western Detention Center. This is where he's at. You know what I mean? So there is no mistake. People saying, oh, I hear these fake little news outlets talking about, he not locked up. He's still posting. He is locked up. All right. He's locked up. That's it. Now, what you see, those asterisks, these are the charges, the warrants, and all of those things that Metro West, thank you, Monumental Enterprise, Metro West Detention Center, thank you so much, and Miami-Dade. But what I'm saying is, what those asterisks is those things that was previously there. You know what I mean? That that was over his head. So we ain't got to guess no more. All right? We don't have to guess no more. He's right there. And let me tell you, that's a serious demonstration. I mean, that's a serious demonstration. I would love to bring Monumental Enterprises on here and give us some insight because she's in the legal field out there in Florida. And I would love to get her take on Metro West Detention Center. Metro West Detention Center is a mean machine. It's a mean machine, family. I'm telling you. One thing about me, right? Because, let me tell you, can I share something with y'all? I've been college before, right? I've been college before. You know what I mean? And one thing that I haven't been able to wrap my mind around is how one can do time under certain conditions and circumstances. Whether it's violence, whether it's grimy, whether it's dirty, whether it's just flat out ignorance. And so periodically, I will watch or research prisons around the country because ultimately when I retire, I want to be able to go into these prisons and help get people ready to return to society, those who are, because it's a hard transition to come from a gladiator, wild, untamed environment to a controlled environment that precipitates success. Although prison is a controlled environment, there's a wild control there. You know what I'm saying? And what I want to do in the future, and I'm talking about the near future, I want to be able to go and help people to make the adjustment to this side so they can be successful. That's one of my people got bucket lists. That's one of my bucket lists. I ain't trying to go and see unicorns. I ain't trying to go see Pegasus fly. I want to be able to talk to people and let them know what mentality it takes to survive. In fact, what it takes to readjust your mentality in order to thrive. You follow me? So that's one of the things. And so I say all that to say, I took the long road to talk about that. I say all that to say is that I looked at the Metro West Detention Center and good goodness gracious, man. It reminds me of the city jail here in Baltimore. Now, they cleaned it up now a little bit here in Baltimore and it's a little bit more tight now. But man, that's a mean machine now. Good. Hey, you ain't gaming nobody up there. There, you ain't talking slick talk there. You know what I mean? Either you with it or you're not. That's right. You know what I mean? That's right. And your energy is felt from the gate. You know what I'm saying? You can fake like you know what's going on. You can fake like you tough. You can fake all that stuff. But in those type of environments, man, you got seasoned criminals that can read through any fake nonsense. And so this little fake thing that he was doing out here is not even close in comparison. Because while he think they're faking him out, it'd be 3 layers of them faking him out. And before you know it, he be thinking he have some friends. He be doing some little fake Crip handshake where there ain't no Crips down there and maybe 1 or 2. And once the money run out, that's right. You going on the chicken coop. You're going in the chicken coop. That's right. You're going in the chicken coop. PC. That's right. The pigeon coop. I messed that up. I mean, you're going in the pigeon coop. But with that being said, family, so we know that he's in jail. You know what I mean? Now, this is this is where he went at. That's what it looked like. That's the picture that I came up with. That's right. He gone up in there. So all of this stuff talking about he is not in jail, family, don't go for it. Don't go for it. See what I'm saying? Don't go for it. You can write to jail. You can look it up for yourself. You can go to the website for the registered offenders. You know what I'm saying? You can call up there. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want if you don't believe. Don't believe. This shows you, and this is going to get to the point that I'm making towards the end of this presentation, that this guy is locked up, and he posted a video a day after he was sentenced, taunting the victim of sorts. He's taunting of sorts. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, family, I want you to play close attention, family. I'm going to tell you, I'm getting close to it, family. Listen, now, I'm not going to drop the bombs yet because I told you I'm going to be doing a documentary. Notice on his identity, his ethnicity, I keep telling people who he is. Family, what is his ethnicity? Huh? I keep telling people who he is, but they don't believe my research. What do it say? What is his ethnicity? Please, somebody put it in the chat. What is his ethnicity? I told you who he is. What is it? I told you who he is. People talking about nah. If his ethnicity was AA, we know it'd be AA or it'd be black. We already know that. You know, they don't play that, calling us African. Come on, man. I told y'all who he is, man. People want to die. No, his parents was here and he was born, man. I told you who it is. I'm telling you, I got the goods. I got the research. I got the goods. I just don't put all the goods out there. The last time I went to put the goods out on SaNeter TV, my channel got struck. I didn't get a strike because I know how to fight the strikes, but my channel got struck. You know what I'm saying? I know who he is. I know who his people is. I know who his family is. I know it. If I had the money, you know what I'm saying? If I had the money, I'm telling you, I would be taking a trip to all of his family, and I'd be doing one of them old shotgun interviews. You know them shotgun interviews? Hi, Mrs. Noak. Mrs. Noak, how are you? Is your son known by Brother Polight? They be covering up and running in the house. Yeah. Y'all remember them interviews in the 80s? That's right. Yeah. Yeah. You remember them interviews? I be running up that joint with the mic. Hey, hi, Mr. Noak, excuse me, Mr. Noak. Dude, is your son a brutal rapist, Mr. Noak? They be coming up with purses. They with little teeny purses. I'm trying to tell you, if I had the money to move around like that, I'm trying to tell you. But I'm working on it. See, I'm working on it. I got me some books that I'm writing. I mean, informational books. I mean, very enlightening books. A book about my life. And, you know, if anybody interested in purchasing this, I'm just going to take the money and go and do these researches. You know what I mean? On the ground. You know what I mean? That's all I'm going to do. That's all I'm going to do. I'm going to enlighten and awaken people, awaken the people. And people going to know it in real time. It's going to be bigger than YouTube. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's going to be bigger than YouTube. You follow me? It's going to be way bigger than YouTube. At the end of the day, hold up, fam. Let me make sure I got everything. Make sure everything good. At the end of the day, make sure. Gotta make sure all my. All right, there we go. Let me get this because I'm gonna keep going in. We got a lot of stuff, man. We got a lot to cover here, so I need to make sure I get it all out before it's time to go. Now, for all that Polight talked about on that video on IG, family, I want to be clear. When you look at these charges right here, he can't get away from child abuse, aggravated, you know what I mean? Great harm, etc., etc. He contribute to delinquency of a minor. These are felonies. And there is additional charges that I will talk about at a later date that the prosecutor added. But for right now, let's just deal with that. And remember, he also got he got the civil demonstration that we're working on to get the complete breakdown of that too. But let me tell you something. For anybody to think that Polight was going to walk away from this unscathed is out of their everlasting mind. And for you to hear SaNeter says, I know what they got. For him to say something like that when he's too illiterate to even to do his own research and he's only listened to what Polight says, he done lost his mind. But here is the record right here. Now, and if it's too small, let me see if I can blow it up for you real quick. Let me see if I can just blow it up for you real quick so you can understand how serious this is. You follow me? Listen, all of this record that you're looking right here is the people that were subpoenaed. You follow me? Now, it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was over 125 people that was subpoenaed. You understand what I'm saying? It was over, you follow me? Subpoenas. Ricardo Herrera's for trial. Angel Pedro for trial. Andrea Amy for trial. Pam Elisa Little for trial. I can go on and on. Jessica. These people was all subpoenaed. You see? They was ready to get busy. You know what I mean? People talking about, if they had something, they wouldn't have took the plea. What? Listen. They were ready to get busy. And they had to be there and ready for trial. You understand what I'm saying? Hold up. That was number one. That's number one. Let's go to, here's the second page. This is all the people that were subpoenaed. You understand what I'm saying? Listen, this is all the people that were subpoenaed. Not to mention, hold up. Not only if this all, and I've read through them all, I'm not going to clog the show up going through it all, but you can get it too. It's public information. Not only was all these people was subpoenaed, many of them, you can see, notice taking deposition, electronic. Notice of taking deposition. Notice of taking deposition. These are all different dates of people taking depositions. You understand what I'm saying? There is no, listen, they had so much. Listen, here we go. Here's another one. Notice of taking deposition. You follow me? Notice of taking deposition. Notice of taking deposition. You understand what I'm saying? There is no way. There is no way that he was going to walk out of here. Again, we will find out how much money beyond the $25,000 was exchanged. We will find that out. But at the end of the day, hold up one second. At the end of the day, people talking about he got 7 years. Why is my thing beeping? Like, hold up one second. Let me cut this off. People talk about he got 7 years. You know what I mean? But family, don't trip off the 7 years. Don't trip off the 7 years. And this is why. I mean, let me cut this off real quick. Don't trip off the 7 years. And here's why. Although he got the 7 years, there is what you would call somewhat of a contingency type situation stipulation in that 7 years. And that stipulation is called civil commitment. And if you're not familiar with what civil commitment is, in short, according to my understanding, but I can only go by what it means in Maryland, what a civil commitment is, say for instance, in Maryland, if you plead, and y'all might be involuntary civil commitment, absolutely. If you plead insanity, which he didn't plead insanity because this is Florida, then you could have the most heinous crimes. And if you plead insanity, then if the psychologist or psychiatrist says that, okay, you're fit to be back in society, then your sentence get amended and you're free. That's it. You go home and it's a wrap. Now, with that being said, it's my understanding that in Florida, they have this code that if you are sentenced with involuntary civil commitment, it means the same thing, yet you have 7 years, but you can only be released. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'll look deeper into it. You can only be released if you pass the psychological. That means if you don't pass the psychological. Now, with that being said, think about the videos he just posted, taunting the girl, mother, as well as the victim. Think about it. You understand what I'm saying? So people say, well, he only got 7 years. No, understand the law. Now I'm going to read to you what this actually encompasses. Just because he ain't on the registered sex offender registry, that doesn't mean he's not identified as a sex offender. You hear what I say? Elaine Jones says, isn't that one of the violations? Absolutely, that's one of the violations. I mean, he would absolutely. So now, just because he ain't on the sex offender registry, this involuntary civil commitment is designed for sexually violent predators. You hear what I just said? This is not designed. The legislation is for sexually violent predators. So although he's charged and convicted of child abuse, see, he thought he was smarter than them, but they just threw the Mickey and the drink on him. You know what I'm saying? They threw the Mickey and the drink on him. Say, okay, you don't want to come through the front door and admit this? Okay, we'll get you through the back door. And they got him through the back door. So although the actual conviction is child abuse, he still agreed to involuntary civil commitment. Y'all with me on that? Y'all with me on that? Press 7 if you with me. He thought he was giving them the shake. I will make a plea, but I'm not pleading to this. Okay. And this is what happens to people. Listen, family, let me give you some advice. Family, never in your life, ever be around anybody that use broken language, that may not speak as well as you, that may not even speak at all, and assume that you are more intelligent than them. Never, ever assume that you are more intelligent than anybody. Give everybody else the benefit of the doubt that they are more intelligent than you. That will allow you to always think on your toes. But the moment that you believe that you are the smartest person in the room, that's when the real smart person can take advantage of you. Because he will use or she will use your fake intelligence against you. And just because a person can't speak the king's English, just because they can't spell right, just because they might not be able to articulate themselves in the way that you can, that don't mean that they can't connect the dots in their head faster, better, and more accurate than you. And this is what these super smart people fail at. They think they're so super smart. But at the end of the day, they're always outsmart. They're always outsmarted at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? But they pride themselves on being able to outwit, outthink people, and play people. I mean, he said they're blocking them over there. You know what I'm saying? So family, always give people the benefit of the doubt. You ever hear me on my show say, I be like, I know you smarter than me. I get it. I know you tougher than me. I agree. I got it. But anyway, I'm still going to stake my claim. I know you're smarter than me. I know I'm going to butcher some word. I know you know all the words in the dictionary. I'm sure you do. Kudos for you. However, do you understand what I'm saying? That's all I need you to do. I need you to understand what I'm saying. And so when we look at this legislative act, legislative finding an intent, legislative intent, definitions, they got it all written, laid out for you, and you can go and look it up. Now, let's read some of the description real quick. The legislative find that a small, extremely dangerous number of sexually violent predators exist who do not have a mental disease or defect that renders them appropriate for involuntary treatment under the Baker Act, Part 1 of this chapter, which is intended to provide a short-term treatment to individuals with serious mental disorder and then return them to the community. In contrast to the persons appropriate for civil commitment under the Baker's Act, sexually violent predators generally have antisocial personality features, which are unamendable to existing mental illness treatment modalities. I might be butchering that. And those features render them likely to engage in criminal, sexually violent behavior. The legislature further finds that the likelihood of a sexually violent predator engages in repeat acts of predatory sexual violence is high. The existing voluntary commitment procedures under the Baker Act for the treatment and care of the mentally ill persons are inadequate to address the risk these sexually violent predators pose to society. The legislator further finds that the prognosis for rehabilitating sexually violent predators in prison setting is poor. The treatment needs of this population are very long-term, and the treatment modalities for this population are different from the traditional treatment modalities for people appropriate for the commitment under the Baker's Act. It is therefore the intent of the legislator to create a civil commitment procedure for long-term care and treatment of sexual violent predators. He will be monitored. This is a 17-year commitment here. Y'all hear me? This is a 17-year commitment. And the judge says that if he violates in any way, he's going to do 60 years. Did y'all hear what did you see, family, listen. The judge said that if he violates in any way, that means he already violated 61 years. That means he's already addressed the victim with a video day one after conviction. Meaning that all of these charges that he was initially charged for, they will be brought back and you will do the 61 years. Now, remember, his whole brand is built around a sexual nature. Therefore, the sexual nature of one convicted of this type of crime on a child and under this type of supervision, he cannot be dancing around the poles no more because it will be interpreted as a sexual deviant. He's done. He's done. He's done. So happen if he does make it out. Anybody ever been on parole or probation without these constraints can tell you it ain't a game. And now you have made money by pushing vulgar, explicit images to people to make it seem as if you're successful. And we're talking about the women, that you brought around you. But at the end of the day, the jig is up. The jig is up. Listen, the sad thing about this is that I want you to hear this guy and remember that SaNeter continued to defend this guy. Listen to this.
First of all, one of the statements Polight makes years ago, it seems to be so cryptic. Listen.
Reduce yourself to the state of an animal and have to go out there and attack somebody in the name of you gotta eat, or your child gotta eat, or your wife gotta eat. We need to start we need to start being able to have some sexual discipline, because if we don't discipline ourselves sexually, what's going to happen is we're going to find ourselves in a very compromising position, whereas we may even start raping people. You understand? Because of our overzealousness and inability to control ourselves, because of a lack of discipline in general. So it has to be practiced now. I know we hear about we need coin, because if we don't discipline ourselves sexually, what's going to happen is we're going to find ourselves in a very compromising position, whereas we may even start raping people. What's going to happen is we're going to find ourselves in a very compromising position, whereas we may even start raping people. We're going to find ourselves in a very compromising position, whereas we may even start raping people. We're going to find ourselves in a very compromising position, whereas we may even start raping people.
Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or
how
use
crazy is that?
Now, family, this is real research. You know what I mean? This is not a game. This is not a game. I have been able to archive. Listen to this, family. Listen to this, family. The difference between me and these other people like SaNeter and other people that try to defend, I have been archiving this. You know what I'm saying? The same thing with Tariq Nasheed. I have archives that can speak to the points that I'm making. These people have history of nonsense, history of craziness, history of the most outrageous comments and acts where people just overlooked. See, I didn't overlook. I was like, what? I remember me and Polight, we had a conversation, and this was before I found out that he was half crazy when he took advantage and got $3,000 from somebody in Baltimore, and he was on the platform, and he was trying to convince me that it was okay. I mean, that it was okay for a young man to be involved with a younger woman. And I was like, nah. What if your son was 22 and he was talking to somebody 16? It was not a big age. I'm like, nah, man. Nah. And he kept going on and on and on. I'm like, nah, man. I was like, nah, man. It's just like, I don't care if my son was 22. I don't care if my son was 21 and the woman was 17. For one, it's socially unacceptable. Number two, it's something I don't approve of. Number three, if he's 21 and ready to build his life, he should get somebody that's on equal footing. That's just where I am. I don't know where you are, but that's just where I am. You should get someone on equal footing. You shouldn't get someone that's trying to figure out what life is about from high school, and you're trying to figure out what life is about from a young adult going into some type of career, workforce, or whatever. Nah, let it go. Keep it pushing. The world is too big for that. You don't have to make those type of dumb decisions unless you was raised wrong. You know what I mean? You don't have to make the world is too big. Why do you have to have a picking pool from someone that is so younger than you, that is actually a child? Why should that even be a thought? You know what I'm saying? Why should that even be a thought? That shouldn't even be a thought. Big as this world is, as big as this world is, intelligent as people portray themselves to be, that's a child. Nah, you're a sick individual. I mean, you're a sick individual, and that's just what it is. Let me see. Somebody in the chat said Judah Nash trying to get in contact with you. I responded to Judah Nash. He sent me a message earlier. I responded to him. Tell him check his messenger. But with that being said, at the end of the day, it's over, fam. It's over for these people. You know what I mean? It's over for these people. Listen to this. Listen. When you look at, one second, let me go here real quick. People thought that this stuff was cute. Look at this. This is the beginning of the end right here. Goofy stuff like this. Is this something that I would teach my children? Is this what they call black power? This is not something that I would be proud of. This is not something that I want to be teaching my children. They thought this was cute. They thought it was slick. Can you imagine? See, let me tell you something about me. If I can't do it in front of my children, I'm going to work not to do it at all. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't want my child sitting there with me, watching me acting a plumb fool. That's goofy, right? That don't give you no power. That don't give you no economic power. That don't give you no political power. That don't give you no type of freedom. That's just goofy. That's the beginning of the end right there. And little do they know that the European is sitting there, or the Doobie-Doobie-Doo is sitting there and say, watch, I go and make these, I'm going to go and trigger these. They don't care. That's cool. Can you imagine your son, your daughter, walking down Harlem, 125th, and you say, hold up, baby, sit right there. Let me go and take a picture with them. Man, I'm crossing the street. And let me tell somebody sent me an email and said that I speak about Europeans all the time as if I don't like Europeans. No, don't put that on me. Let me tell you something. Europeans, as I like to refer to them as those who are descended from Europe, many of those that are in power have a superiority complex. Many that have a bunch of money have a superiority complex. So those who are oppressive and those who feel entitled, I just get out their way. I understand them. I get it. I just get out their way. Do I have a problem with them? Absolutely not. I understand the laws of nature. The laws of nature is survival of the fittest. And when you are a minority group and projected yourself as a majority, that's called you're trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with your surviving. When you commit the most, and I'm talking about the oppressive Europeans, when they commit the most heinous acts against unarmed brothers and sisters and all of these things, that's to annihilate us so they can survive. I get it. It's the law of the jungle. Sorry if you can't receive this, but it's the law of the jungle. It's the law of nature. It's survival of the fittest. The problem that I have is that we have witnessed this for over 2,000 plus years. And we have yet to catch on to exactly how to counteract it. That's my problem. My problem is not the lion trying to bite me when I go on when I go and walk through the Serengeti. That's not my problem. My problem is not that I'm going on safari and the lion try to bite me. He's supposed to try to bite me. For God's sakes, he's a lion. My problem is not that I'm too close to the cage at the zoo and the monkey grabbed me. He's supposed to grab me. He's supposed to. He's a gorilla. He's supposed to. I'm not mad at the gorilla. I'm mad at myself that I didn't understand the nature of the gorilla. Now, this has nothing to do with a skin complexion. It's just history records the capabilities of an oppressor that have done it for years and years and years and years. And that goes with any other race, like somebody said, Asian making proud moves. That goes with any other group of people that has targeted us in an oppressive way. I am not surprised. What's surprising to me is that my people haven't caught on to understand how to counteract this oppressive nature of people who wants to dominate our people. That's what blows my mind after all these years. What blows my mind is that we still talking about white supremacy as opposed to empowering us in whichever way, whether it's economic, whether it's political, whether it's liberation of separation and whatever. That what blows my mind. That what blows my mind more than anything. What they doing, that doesn't surprise me at all. Now, last but not least, I want whoever wrote me to know that I love all people. I love people according to who they are. Even if they pose an opposition, I love them too. Let me tell you why. There's a lesson that I've learned in the Moorish Science Temple of America that says a soldier never knows his strength until he meets his foe. And thought must be developed by the exercise of strength. So if you become an enemy to me, you give me the ability to use my critical thinking to outthink you, to outmaneuver you, and to overcome you. Break it down to the rate of atmosphere. If you go to Planet Fitness and you go to lift weights, the only way you're going to get some guns like Brother Tahaka Bey, the Grand Sheik, you're going to have some resistance. The only way you're going to have brain power is when you're studying something, it's going to have to challenge you in order for your critical thinking skills to kick in. So you need opposition to bring out that pure part of yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem with us is that we see opposition as the enemy that we should run from, as opposed of the opposition that we should confront. That's the problem. That's the problem with us. So let me say it one more time to the person that wrote me. No, I have no problem with Europeans at all. I have no problem with them at all. They're doing what they have been doing for over 2,000, 3,000 years. That might sound harsh to some people, but I'm just being honest. That's what they do. The oppressive Europeans, that's what they do. You can't get around that. Why are you going to be mad at someone that give you a 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 year track record? You need to be mad at yourself. Not at them. They showing you. And let me say the last thing that I'm going to say to that, and we'll get back and shut down the show. Always remember that race pride is not racism. Because you love your race, because you love your people, because you love your culture, whether you express it on your shoulder, whether you express it in your intelligence, or whether you just express it whatever way you see fit. Race pride is not racism. So don't let nobody convince you that being proud of you are, who your people were, and who you destined to be, make them feel inferior and you should cover it up. No. Race pride does not equal racism. But we can still have the conversation about your atrocities. We can still have the conversation about me not catching on or my people not catching on. You understand what I'm saying? So whoever wrote the letter, and I was going to write them back and email them back, basically that same sentiment. No, I don't have no problem with anybody. You know what I'm saying? The only problem that I have with someone, if they are in my immediate cipher and they pose a threat. And there's only 3 things I'm going to do. I'm going to demonstrate what they said that Prophet Noble Drowley said. I'm going to try to get away from you. You know what I'm saying? Because I know if I go overboard, I'm going to go overdo it. I'm going to overdo it. So I'm going to try to get away from you. If I can't get away from you, I'm going to turn around and drop the world on you. That's it. That's it. And that ain't no tough talk. That's just what it is. I'm going to do my best to get away from you because I know where it can go. You know what I'm saying? And I have plenty, listen, I have plenty friends that was unable to get away from situations, and now their life is in the balance and at the mercy of a system that has no mercy. So I'm going to do my best to get away from you. That's just what it is. I don't care. I don't have no pride. You know what I mean? To the point, I mean, foolish pride. I don't got no foolish pride. Oh, Tariq did this and he smacked you. I'm like, okay, whatever. Guess what? Okay. I don't have that no more. I don't have that problem. I overcame that. But with that being said, family, I just wanted to really go over these things and show you that at the end of the day, these people are no different. They are no different than the European guy that assaults these little children in the Catholic Church. They are no different. They are no different. They are no different. And the moment that we call people out for who they are, the better we will be. You follow me? The better we will be as a people. It is what it is. The better we will be as a people. Now, with that being said, when you see stuff like this.
Good. Yo, man, thanks for putting that in my pocket, fam. I know you don't like people seeing that shit. Good looking, fam. I love you, brother. Word, man.
For people to say that SaNeter did not hang with Brother Polight, or SaNeter saying he didn't hang with Brother Polight, he took flights to meet Brother Polight after he called him for messing with little girls. After he, listen, this is, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Indulge me real quick. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Family, the video that you just seen.
It's not yours, Polight. Calm down, son. You talking to somebody who know you, nigga. I know the nigga. And believe me, I got data on you. But see, what you say about me is all good. I don't give a fuck about that. But the shit I got on you is real shit.
Listen. Y'all hear that? Y'all hear that? Hold up. Y'all hear that?
Calm down, son. Yeah, let me calm down. You right. I know the nigga looking. I know that nigga watching. I'm not even giving you that smoke yet. I'm holding back a lot of shit. So you go on to say that SaNeter talked about your kids. Who are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right? The
SaNeter.
When you call Renentet, you ain't calling her your daughter.
Who are you talking about?
Don't do it.
SaNeter.
Don't make me fucking do it, nigga.
Who are you talking about?
Little Dr. York, don't make me do it,
You ain't talking
nigga.
about Tasia, right?
Little fucking Dr.
You ain't
York.
talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia.
You ain't talking about her, right?
I know you ain't
the one that you
talking
call
about her.
Renentet. Huh? Nigga, that ain't your daughter, nigga.
I was turning all the way up. Anyway, let me get back to my point. Let me let it play. Let me let it play the right way.
That SaNeter talked about your kids. Who are you talking about? Huh? You ain't talking about Tasia, right? You ain't talking about her, right? You ain't talking about Tasia Barnes, right? I know you ain't talking about her. I knew her before you, Polight. You ain't talking about her, right? The one you call Renentet? You ain't calling her your daughter, are you? Don't do it. Don't make me fucking do it, nigga. Huh? Little Dr. York, don't make me do it, nigga.
Now that.
Good.
And
Yo,
then
man,
this.
thanks for putting that in my pocket, fam. I know you don't like people seeing that shit. Good looking, fam. I love you, brother. Good looking, fam. I love you, brother. Good looking, fam. I love you, brother.
That was after. There's no justification for that. There's no justification for that. That was after the fact. You know what I'm saying?
Somewhere. Polight. Don't make me do it, bro.
And people try to say that he's talking about scamming. You know good and well he's not talking about scamming. We all know what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? We all know what he's talking about. And the sad thing about it is that those who are watching SaNeter, they're acting as if that he's just mad. Y'all see